Welcome to today's video. I'm the Hooded Lid and today I'm doing something different. I've never done this before, but I recently did a roundup of the last 3 foundations that I reviewed just because I had my final thoughts on everything and it might save people time, and I had learned some new things, and I asked if you would be interested in having me do something for all the things I've done in the past month or so, and one person said yes. And I've seen other people do this, so I thought I would. I have a list, and I have my glasses, and let's talk. It's just going to be me talking, you guys. I'm going to try to be entertaining. Let's talk about the Fenty wine. Some of these things I'll pull out to show you and some I won't. And I was playing with this yesterday, but I guess I didn't. I was playing with it in the living room, and I guess it's still in the living room. The Fenty, they came out with something called, I think, More Money, and something, I think, called Fine Wine, and they came out with a lip, and I was playing with that lip last night. I love it. It's definitely a special occasion kind of a lip. It's really a statement. And that eyeshadow palette I also love. I love them both because I don't have anything like it, and it's wearable but striking for special occasions. And I think they are not quite gothic, but they're statements, and I'm really glad I got them, and I still like them. Have I worn them again? No, because they're not for the daily, but I'm glad I have those 2 Fenty products. Then we have Pat McGrath Rose Decadence. Have I used it again? No, but I do play a lot with makeup, and I'm testing new makeup all the time, so it's not that I don't like it. In fact, let me get that. So here it is. People who love Pat McGrath say that the formula is very different. I only have 2 of her Mothership palettes, and I'm not one of those fangirls, you know what I mean? I'm not a stan. I like this because her matte colors, which are this one and this one, are not too dark. Primarily this. If this wasn't here, maybe I wouldn't like it so much, but one of my issues with Pat McGrath is I can look at her palettes and say how beautiful. I want to own like 2 or 3 more of them, but I also know they're not wearable from my lifestyle. I'm just a regular person. I don't go to raves, you know what I mean? I'm not a clubber. And I'm hooded, which makes shimmery things a little more difficult for me. But more than anything, the mattes in her palettes are quite dark for me. And it's not just my skin tone. You can be my skin tone and wear something really dark. It's my aesthetic. I feel like when I wear something really dark, it makes my eyes look smaller. And I'm hooded anyway, so I'm really fighting to keep my eyes open looking, emphasized, shaped, pretty color, but not too much dark color, and she doesn't check that box for me. So for me, I don't really see a problem with this. I don't know if it's really different, and for me it is far more suitable for my personal aesthetic. So I still like it. I haven't worn it, but I do like it. Danessa Myricks. I got some Vision Flush and Color Fix, and I think these are really, really brilliant. They are for makeup artists, and I can understand why. You have to be willing to have some fun, to mix things around, to play around a little bit, to make mistakes in order to really get the full impact of these and the usefulness of these. I'm not a makeup artist, as you know, but whereas palettes with color ranges that suit everybody from the very fairest to the very darkest, and you'll have just a small amount that will work for you, these things I don't think you have to be a makeup artist for. You just have to be willing to play. I don't regret having them. I've worn them a couple of times since that video, and I'll continue to play with them, and I actually have expanded my Danessa Myricks and have something else that I'll be shooting pretty soon when we get a little bit closer to the holidays for a fun holiday look. So, love. All right, I took a look at Jill Stewart, and I got these 3 products. And you know what? I really like. I've been wearing this one a lot lately. It's kind of a cherry red. This isn't for the everyday, but let's put some on. It's kind of a jelly situation and probably won't last a whole lot longer. I mean, it's fine right now, but it's probably the thing, powders you can kind of keep for a long time. Stuff like this, not so much. And then this really wackadoo blush. This is strange, you guys, but I really like it. And I haven't worn it. So I had opened this up like yay, so that the blush is showing right there. And spin this around, and here's the blush. Now I'm going to close it and just do a little, I mean, I like the blush I'm doing right now, but it's so pretty. Stick it back in, stick this thing back over it. It's weird, it's camp, it's very, it reminds me a lot of Pretty Vulgar, but I like all of these products. M Cosmetics, so I got 2 lips and I got 2 blushes. I kept the blushes. I love liquid blushes. I think you can work with them, mix them, make them heavier, make them lighter, wear them on the eyes, wear them on the cheeks. Some of them you can use on the lips. I love these colors. I really like the formula. I don't really like the dispenser. It feels a little flimsy. I did send the lipsticks back. The formulas are fine. It's just the red wasn't anything different than anything else I had. And the lilac was horrible on me. And I will say, it's a little strange. I still haven't got my money back. And they said, well, it'll show up in your account in 10 days. And I'm like, well, that's the case when you do it on a credit card, but it's not the case when you do it on PayPal. Usually it's instant. So, I don't know. The customer service, they respond to you very quickly. But that didn't make sense to me. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. And it's worth noting just because you can only buy M Cosmetics from their website. There are no brick and mortars. But these two I really like, Venetian Rose and this lilac one. I don't know what it's called, but I really like them. Natasha Denona. Bronze, Glam. I love these both. A lot of people didn't seem to like this, which is really weird because everybody loves warm palettes and all of a sudden they don't love warm palettes. Go figure. I'm not someone who loves warm palettes, but for some reason, and I can't tell you why, I really can't. I love this. I pull to it all the time. Maybe not for a complete look, but oh, I need something a little warm here, or I need a little something here. I pull to this one, and these 2 shades, if these 2 shades weren't here, maybe this wouldn't be such a special palette. While I pull for the warms more frequently, these 2 shades are so unique, and I just love these 2 shades. I can't say enough. I love this palette. I'm glad I have it. And then the Glam palette. This is more my alley in that, well, certainly, it's not that I go for a cool eye all the time, it's just that nobody's doing cool eyes. And I've really been wanting a cool eye, and she gave it to us. Do not regret having this one. Now I have the Dior Soft Cashmere, which is kind of the same thing. And I haven't been using this too much because, again, I've been, playing with so much other makeup, but I do love both of these palettes, and I don't regret having them. All right, the Patrick Ta blushes. So these are blushes that are a powder and then a cream. I had bought 2 of them initially. The red one was just too much for me, and it wasn't what I was expecting. I wanted something very specific, and there was more blue in it, so I took that back. The peach one, I thought, okay, well, I need to expand my peachiness because I tend to go for pinkies, but it just didn't float my boat. And in my buying more peachy stuff, I felt like I probably already have it. So I took that back, and I ended up getting this one. And I didn't buy this when it first came out because I thought, what's the point? This looks like a bronzer. I can just put a bronzer on. And even though it does look like a bronzer, when I put it on my face, there's a pinkness underneath it. It's a very neutral blush, and I am so surprised at how often I pull for this. If I don't know what I'm going to do, if I want the lips to be the statement, if I'm in a hurry and I don't want to think about it, I just keep on pulling for this. And I'm really, really surprised how much I'm going to it. Yeah. So I bought 3 out of the 4, and this is the one I kept. The pink I didn't get because I have a lot of pinks. And for me, the pink has to be precisely right. It just makes my face look alive. And if it's the wrong color, it doesn't do anything for me. It's still nice, but it doesn't do anything for me. Then it's going back, and I had the feeling the pink wasn't going to work for me, so I never got that one. Love this one. The Kosas Concealer. Okay, so I got the Kosas Concealer. I did the video. I was kind of impressed. It wasn't creasing as much as my other concealers do, but the color is egregiously yellow. And I can tell in videos when I'm wearing it, because to my naked eye, I feel like I've been able to make it work, but on videos I'm like, oh man, my foundation and my concealer are not relating to each other at all. I look like an idiot, so I returned it. But you're thinking, well, you got it in your hand. Yeah, because I bought it again because I'm just so frustrated with how everything else that I'm trying is working. I have better colors for my skin, but I just feel like this is better for creasing. So I bought it again, and I'm really trying to make it work, mixing it with other things, using a pink powder over it to kind of get rid of that yellow. I did write an email to Kosas because that's who I am, and told them, you know, I look like a clown. Please make a color for light medium people. I didn't yellow because we're not all yellow. And she wrote back, and I don't know if this is true or not. We're working on expanding our line. We hope that you'll find something. So maybe there'll be some changes in that department. For all I know, it's like we've expanded our line to more yellows. Yay! But I bought it again. Rare Beauty. I have to say, one of the biggest surprises for me in the past month or so has been Rare Beauty. I didn't want to go there. I'm like, oh, come on. A singer, she's young, you know, just because someone puts makeup on you doesn't mean you know anything about makeup. Yeah. I loved that foundation. I loved the finish. I loved the way it felt. It's just horrible colors. But I got some other stuff. These blushes, now not all the blushes would work naturally, but these are really, really nice. And these two lips, I really like. I mean, this color Brave, I love this color on me, but formula-wise, I really like these. First time I tried it on, I thought, ooh, this is a little drying after the initial dry down, but you mess around with it. I think I ended up adding more, and it was fine. And this is a different color for me. I hope they expand their lip line. The balms were awful. I didn't even try it on camera. They're not anywhere close to opaque. If you have any lines on your lips, forget it. It'll settle into that. And it was scented in a manner that it kind of turned my stomach. No joke. I'm like, I just, PU, put it back in the box, brought it back. But foundation, yay. The mattes, yay. These, yay. The concealer, I wanted to like it. I wore it for several days, and I was thinking, oh yeah. And the next day be, oh no. It's just not dependable. It's not reliable. So, I don't know. I don't have it anymore, so that should tell you something. All right, Charlotte Tilbury. That limited edition highlighter, I returned it because I felt it was very, very, very similar to something I already own and I never wear. It's beautiful, but if I want that, I have it already. So that went back. Walk of Shame, I got the gloss, and is a really pretty color. I wish there weren't glitters in it. Literally glitters, not pearls, glitters. Because I don't want to be outside talking to somebody and have a glitter, you know, reflect into their eyeballs. It's just a little too much. It's for evening. And again, you know, how about for real life, for people who don't want to be glittery? Loved the color. It felt comfortable. It went back. Then I got the collagen bath, and that was not very comfortable. Oddly enough, the regular lip gloss from the Walk of No Shame felt more cushy than the collagen bath. The color was pretty, but it's not worth the price for me. It's just a hint of color and not comfortable, so no. What else did I get from Charlotte? I got the blush. I got the eye glitter. That went back. I got the pencil, which I kept. I probably shouldn't have. I think I really honestly kept it because I felt so bad about returning everything else. Hand to God. I did keep this, and it's interesting because I tried this several times and like, I don't know if this does anything for me. All of her, I think all of her blushes have a shimmer element. I don't like shimmer in my blushes. I like something matte, and if I want to highlight it, I can. But I start with a fairly glossy face in the first place, and I don't want to be a glimmer bomb, and that's kind of what she's known for. So I tried to go around and just use this color, and it just didn't work on my skin tone, and I finally mixed them together. And this does have the shimmer element in it. But together, this is a really nice tone on me. I don't have anything like this. It's an unusual tone for me, but it's not unusual weird. It's just different. And just for that reason, just that it's not a repeat, I kept it. And also I felt bad about returning like everything from that order. Chanel Le Beige, yeah, that went back. The Chanel iQuads, although a couple of people commented that it wasn't very flattering on me, I kept them. I don't know why. I love those colors, and I kept them. I got a Chanel, where was it? I put it on last night. I think I have some things in the living room because I was goofing off last night. But the limited edition, I think it's called Flash. Balm, kept that. Really like it, very comfortable. The Kara Weiss foundation, going back today. See the video I did on foundations. The Dior soft cashmere and nude dress. I love, love, love that soft cashmere. The nude dress is more of a daily look. I do wish there was a little less satin for a daily look. Or put it another way, put in a little bit of matte for a daily look, because I really, really appreciate that. I feel the soft cashmere can be day or night. I just wish for variety they would put in a little bit more mattes, but I love both of them. The new formulation on those palettes is fantastic. I had tried 2 or 3 of those palettes in the previous formulation, and they were not good. I didn't understand. But apparently that's all over now, and we have some really, really good 5 colors pans. The Wayne Goss blushes, I just did that the other day, and I did end up returning the one Peony. And I returned it for the same reason I spoke about a moment ago. I have a lot of pinks, and you know when you have the right pink on. For me, I know. It's like, boom. I feel like my face has brightened up and I look alive, I look healthy, I look youthful. Yeah, I know. The Wayne Goss was a pink, but it didn't really do anything for me. And I wore it a couple more times. I'm like, you know, why am I forcing it? I have that Natasha Denona color that is so much better on me. It's so good on me that for a long, long, long time, it was my go-to. Just like I'm kind of the Patrick Ta's a go-to for me right now. That one was. And I hated that highlighter color. It's just not for real life. There's a fine line between the mundane, everyday stuff and, hi, I'm going to a disco. And I feel like makeup lines are either just going for that, one or the other. And I prefer somewhere in between. And while I've never seen Wayne Goss put makeup on a person, I really don't know what his aesthetic is. It's becoming more and more apparent to me that his aesthetic isn't my aesthetic. I did keep the one Vivid Azalea, put it on the floor, and that is the really bright color. And I kept that for 2 reasons. 1, I know how to apply it, so it's not scary. 2, I don't have something like it. And that's really important to me. Instead of getting repeats all the time, it's like, okay, I might need this for if I want to do a cool look, or I want to do just a flush cheek and a berry lip. Something, you can go either way with that. You can go dramatic, you can go sweet and innocent, and I don't have it, so I kept it. And the highlighter in that one is normal. You know, it looks like it's white, but on me it shows up gold, but it's not a horrible gold. It's not too incredibly different than my skin tone. So let's put it this way. I didn't find it offensive on the highlighter end, so I kept it. So I kept one of them. And again, I do feel bad about returning things, and that could have been part of the reason I kept it, but I don't regret having it. And then that's about it. So that's, you know, I'm sure I missed a couple of things. I didn't want to go too far back. Oh, something I never told you. I did get a couple of these towers. This one's a little more pinky, this one's a little more browny. If these are floating your boat and you're thinking about getting them, you don't need both because they're not opaque. Once they're on your lip, there's virtually no difference. So for instance, if you have a lot of pink in your lips, instead of going for the pinker one, maybe go for the browner one. Or if your lips are quite light, then maybe you'd want to go for the pinkier one and give it a little more of a lippy look. But these are lovely, and let me get my glasses so I can tell you what colors are what. So the cashew is a little more pink and the almond is a little bit more brown. I would put it on, but I forgot to mention this. This I got when I got the Chanel stuff. It's limited edition, but it's still out there. Someone asked me what I was wearing in one of my videos, and I said this. And she said, just my luck. And I'm like, well, it's still there. It's still on the Chanel website. It isn't a red. It's a deep pink. But there's not a lot of blue in it. So reds are really, really interesting colors. They can be neutral. They can be orange. They can be blue. But they can also be pink. And they can also be brick. It could also be brown red. So this, for me, I feel like is a really good color for my skin tone. It's comfortable. It's one of the thinners, one of the more thin formulations. And that's it, you guys. That's some of my overview of some of the things that I've gotten in the last 6 weeks or so. And have my feelings changed? I don't know if anything has surprised you here or not, because I do try to be very upfront and honest and kind of seat of the pants. What am I feeling right now? Sometimes I keep on working on something, and sometimes like, no, my initial feeling still holds. There you have it. That's it. Yeah. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.